Welcome to
Hella Horror.
Alright, what's up, fools? It's Grand Marquise,
And the big time Sersko.
and this is Hella Horror, where you parlay about horror movies with similar themes and beat them down to humor and sarcasm.
Simon Raza. We'll be getting into some creepy shit, funny shit, dumb shit, so get with the program.
And disclaimer, we spoil the fuck out of these movies.
All day, every day.
So don't be coming around here crying and shit that we spoiled the ending to no sé qué. No one cares.
Nobody gives a fuck.
And tonight on the Hella Horror Variety Hour, we have some spectacular special guests for all of you. We've got the Creep, we've got the Sultry DJ, and the Mortician of Raven's End. And we will be telling them how we love them and hate them. Then we will murder and feast on the flesh of your bones.
Qué chingados con estas pinches mamadas. ¿Quién crees que eres? Sábado gigante. Catch me, Bronx.
The fuck was that?
What the fuck, bro? What's that kind of shit? Who someone should be screening these calls, man.
Someone should be screening people, man. You ain't got no motherfucking backstage pass. Ain't got time for that
The
shit.
fuck, man. Hey, get that guy out of here.
All right, man. So let's get back on the subject here. Back on track. So we've got some anthology movies for you guys. We're gonna be talking about how the framework or how the stories are framed in it, and what we like and fucking hate about them.
Yeah, all that good shit, you know.
You know how we do.
You know how we roll. You know how we roll. You know how we ride.
So the first movie we're gonna be running through is Creepshow. So Creepshow had an animated special on Shudder, which was fucking dope. It was released in 2020.
2020.
Pretty much just a few days before Halloween. Thank you, Shudder, man. You on point as always. Shudder also has the Creepshow series. So if you saw Creepshow movies 1 and 2 by Stephen King and George A. Romero, you definitely want to peep the show. Produced by Greg Nicotero. So if you didn't know about it, and I just told you, do something about it.
If you're like hella horror about it.
On
You like that? You like that? Simon, it's a special.
So this anime special is actually it was a short feature. It's about 45 minutes long, but still a goodie. It's done in like graphic novel style, so it isn't fully animated. So it's not really cartoons or
It's
adult
artistic.
animated. I mean, it's adult features guaranteed.
Yeah.
So essentially, it's like images, but they're manipulated.
Yeah, so
with-
it's not full out animation. It's like in
Exactly.
between. I mean, it's cool. A lot of detail.
There's 2 stories involved in there. First one's Survivor Type, which is narrated by Kiefer Sutherland, and it's about someone that's marooned on an island and eats himself to stay alive. And the next one is Twittering from the Circus of the Dead, narrated by Joey King. It's about a teenager and her family who die in the circus.
Die.
So this was actually the special was directed by Greg Nicotero. If you're a horror fan, don't know who Greg Nicotero is, there's a problem. He, like I said, produced the Creepshow and known for producing The Walking Dead. If you don't know what The Walking Dead is, again, why are you even listening to us?
Losers, that is.
And one fun fact is his first major gig was doing the special makeup effects on Day of the Dead from George A. Romero. Motherfucking hero!
Hero.
The next anthology we looked at was Tales of Halloween, released in 2015. It's like a horror comedy based type of movie, directed by hella people.
And hella skits.
Shows,
Or
fool.
shuttles.
So stories.
Stories.
Oh, my bad.
Calling
Sorry,
me a fool and you got it wrong.
I'm sorry,
Who's
man.
the fool then?
Damn. You got me, folks.
All right, so it's hella stories.
And there's 10 of them. And it's because there's 10 stories, which is a lot for an anthology. I'm going to run through them real quick. So the first story is called Sweet Tooth. It's about this little devil kid that eats candy from the guts of his victims. There's the night Billy raised hell, but basically a devil imp that goes ham on town. And then there's Trick, which is basically about some killer trick-or-treaters that kill some adults and with a twist ending.
That's deep.
There's The Weak and the Wicked. It's a weird one about some bullies and a demon shows up and
that was kind of
eats the bad guy. Then you got The Grim Greeting Ghost, about a dumbass white girl being stalked by a ghost. And then there's Ding Dong. This was a trippy one. It's a domestic violence piece about a witch that can't have kids and kills her husband once she finds out that he had the little snippy snip.
Yeah, that was heavy.
He done fucked up.
You know what I'm saying? That you done fucked up now. You know that, don't you?
Damn.
And then the next one is This Means War. Dumb.
Yeah.
It's two neighbors. They fight about their Halloween decorations in the front lawn and die together. Fucking dumb. And then you got Friday the 31st. It's about a Jason wannabe that kills a chick, and then there's a alien made of clay. There's an alien possession. Then the zombie. Well, the girl turns into a zombie and then kills the Jason wannabe.
Yeah.
And then the little alien creature comes out.
Don't even entertain it anymore. Just let it go.
It's awful. Then you got The Ransom of Rusty Rex. About a demon that gets kidnapped by a couple of kidnappers. The ransom goes wrong, and then they're fucked. Fun fact. Ooh. So this one stars John Landis. He's an 80s movies legend. He's known in the horror world for directing two iconic, I want to call them movies. The first was Thriller, the video Thriller with Michael Jackson.
Yes, right.
That's the shit. So he did like the whole intro with the werewolf and stuff, and then the dancing, all that. And it looked great. It's probably one of my best.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite music video of all time. I love watching it during Halloween. I love it.
Nothing has topped it anyways. I don't think it has.
Nah. If you haven't seen the video, go watch it. It's dope. And the other movie he did, An American Werewolf in London. Very cool movie. And our Latin spotlight. The spotlight for the Latino in this whole thing that we're looking at, all of these, is Jose Pablo Cantillo.
Cantillo.
Known for his roles in Sands of Anarchy and The Walking Dead. And apparently he was in the Chicano movie.
It's garbage. Sorry.
I haven't seen it.
It's garbage. I'm sorry. I mean, it's not. Yeah, it's garbage.
Understand that people don't watch it.
Yeah.
The last story then is Bad Seed. Attack of the Killer Pumpkin.
Show me where you grow these super pumpkins.
It kills people and eats a kid whole.
Yeah.
Pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
And there's a chick in it that knows how to hold a gun and use a gun.
It's a lot. It's also resembling a lot of that Killer Tomatoes.
Yep. And all these stories take place on the same Halloween night in the same town. And some of the stories actually overlap. And there's a DJ that talks between the stories. Her name is Adrienne Barbeau. I mean, that's the actress. She was in hella John Carpenter movies, including Creepshow and Swamp Thing. Pretty cool. And she got big old chichis.
Chichis.
The last movie we looked at was the Mortuary Collection. Released in 2019, presented by Shudder. This was written and directed by Ryan Spindell. He ain't got no wiki. So wiki.
No wiki for you, Spindell.
This anthology, the overarching character that tells the stories is Clancy Brown, motherfucking Mr. Crab from the SpongeBob cartoon.
No shit.
Yeah. He's dope. He's got that great voice, that real deep voice, and he's done hella bad guys and hella movies. He's also the Kurgan, the bad guy from the first Highlander movie. So this one has 3 stories, including one other story, which I'll get to in a second. But funny thing is that when I looked it up, the stories don't have a name. There's not a name for each story. So we gave it the hella horror treatment. The first story we called it is Get Away from the Fucking Mirror.
Yeah.
Second story is, I'm just going to call it Prophylactics.
Yeah, okay.
Put on the condom, PPE.
Yeah.
The third one is Till Death Do Us Part. And if you guys think those names suck for the shows that we put in, I don't give a fuck.
It's too bad for you.
But you know what? We wanted to hear from the haters anyway. So go ahead and email us at hellohorrorpodcast@gmail.com.
Well, we need to balance it out. So
that's it, man. So this anthology also, as the final story weaves in, this is kind of a fun fact, I guess, kind of a short film that was made by the director called The Babysitter Murders, which the anthology, the overall arc, is based around the Babysitter Murders because the serial killer from that short film is in this one. That short horror flick was from 2015, so it's kind of cool how they did that. So let's look at the murder rap sheet. There's quite a lot going on. I'm going to pick the winner. In my eyes, correct me if I'm wrong, the ultimate murder is from the Mortuary Collection. And the winner is the Mortuary Collection. So,
Come on, just tell us.
it's the baby demon bursting through the main character's dick.
King Owls. Yeah, that's a heavy one, man.
Hey, Sirsko, why don't you tell the people what leads up to this fucking demon dick exploding scene?
So pretty much, it's one of those type of stories that the dude is the douchebag,
Frat boy
in college. You know, they're having a party. They're trying to get all the girls they can, so they're like passing condoms around, and you know, so it gets to the point that there's just one little young Missy walking around.
Hot.
Yeah,
Hot.
and they, you know, this dude, this douchebag, hits her up. Like, hey, you know,
come through to the moon.
Yeah,
come through
slide
the party.
slide through to the fiesta. So,
Shows up and then they start fucking.
yeah, but it's funny because when she gets there, you know, and they're doing it, or before they do it, she's all like, she pulls out the condom. She goes, "You need to wear this, or protection, or some fucking corny shit like that." And he's like, right,
He was pissed.
Yeah, I want to do this shit. So, okay, whatever, right? So anyhow, they get to the fucking, they fuck all night, and then after that, she takes off and she just bounces like deuces. Like, I'm done. Like, you know how they make dudes look like, oh yeah, got the nut on, now I'm fucking bounce. So she did that.
Yeah.
And then he starts having all these weird shit going on with his body. His homies are like, hey, you good? Because you kind of look weird. And he starts getting a fucking belly. And then there was a scene that, because they have this bet that if they could get so much X amount of,
If they bang 64 chicks.
yeah.
But also fucks this dude up is that when he was fucking that chick, told her to get on all fours, doggy style, and that's where he takes the condom off.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's what kind of leads to this whole situation. So
Yeah.
So
But to the part where, you know, they find out, you know, of course he's gonna brag about it, and he brags about it. So then there's this ritual that they do at the frat house where if you get X amount of girls that you bang, then you get an award.
yeah, you put up like a little banner, like a
So
little
that doesn't-
baseball banner.
Yeah,
whatever.
and that doesn't matter what it
But
is.
he's got a big old belly at this point.
Oh yeah, and they put him on a chair, so they all come and pick him up, right? So they all have him in the air with the chair, and they're like swaying him back and forth. And next thing you know, this motherfucker, his shit burst, his fucking water bag, or what is it?
Yeah, the water.
Yeah,
Just fucking
and he
slime.
no, he don't use slime. He fucking sprays them with all this slime shit, right? Nasty. So that was
Little
pretty
percentage
crucial.
juice.
But so from there, the shit gets really deep, and then that's where Grand Marquis is talking about.
Yeah, he
You
shows up. Yeah, he shows up at the girl's house. He finally calls her, and he runs over there. And then the parents see him. They go, "Oh fuck, not again!"
Yeah.
because this time he's like prego, like straight pregnant.
I mean, and he got like veins popping out of him, like green veins.
Yeah,
and
he's looking
shit.
all skeleton looking face.
Yeah, his face looked toe up.
And then they sit him down. He's like, "Oh, the baby's coming out." Then he goes, "How's it going to come out?" Well, the same way he got in, motherfucker. And then
From
he's
there, he just starts to fucking.
screaming.
Yeah.
It's foul. And then you see his dick just like swell up like, like a water balloon.
Yeah.
And it just explodes. And then they pull the baby out. And the after scene, though, the dude's dead.
Yeah.
Because it's like this huge hole where his nuts, his stomach, all that
All
was
that
just
shit.
like one
It
big
blew
red
it up.
net. It just,
It split like a fucking watermelon. Like,
it was pretty gnarly, but that looks super cool. Like the special effects that were used. It was dope, man. Fucking high five for motherfucking Mortuary Collection.
I wasn't expecting that one.
That was a shit.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. It was really cool.
I think so too, man. That's I must say that's also, favorite scenes of someone getting fucking
Mortalized.
yeah, I'm fucking taken out, man. That's some way to go out, man. Your dick literally exploding and shit.
At least he
God,
died instantly,
fuck.
though. Well, first,
Who
I
knows,
wouldn't say
man?
instantly because
I
he was
don't
fucking
know. He
screaming.
probably fucking bled to death. My Jimmy's gone. Little Jimmy.
And she was like, "Well, fuck that. I'm gonna go on another date."
Yeah, so then and they take him upstairs.
There's like a bunch of baby
there's a
cribs
bunch
like
of
in the.
them. Yeah, so that was crazy. That was pretty crazy.
It's a thin line
Between love and hate.
So there's a lot of stories here, guys. Bro, tell me your favorite story from each anthology. Let's look at, let's just, to make it simple, let's start with Creepshow Animated. Which was your favorite story for Creepshow Animated, even though there's only 2 of them? Which was your favorite?
Well, I would have to say the survival type, which was the doctor / student.
Heron runner.
Or student. No, the one that he was
he had, he got caught selling pills.
Yeah, selling pills.
When he was working in the hospital.
Right. And no, but he went to like Florida or some shit like that to pick up.
Like pills. A key of heroin.
Yeah, and then he was coming back on a plane. Plane crashes on this island.
No, it was a boat. It was the ship.
Was it? That's fly. Right. It was he has a cruise. That's right.
It was a cruise.
That's right. Yeah. And so pretty much you get a Gilligan Island type of situation where you got, I think it was 2 individuals that got stranded, right? Because everybody else got killed. But
he was the only one that was alive. The other chick was just...
Yeah.
It's kind of cool because the girl on the island refers to her, but she's rotting.
Yeah.
So she's slowly falling apart. And
the seagulls, right?
And the seagulls eat at her.
Yeah, they're eating at her. So, but, basically it's like the whole story where he ends up getting hungry. So he starts to eat himself. He starts to fucking cut off limbs and fingers and it gets to the point that he's, for the pain, so each time he's cutting himself, he's fucking using that boy, man. He's getting high off that shit, man. He's trying to go on another world while he does this shit, man. He's really trying to have that fucking out of body experience, man. Shit. But yeah, so so it just ends up playing fucking a game on him because there's no food. He's not being hydrated, no water, so he ends up just fucking hacking half of his body away, partial of his hand,
his nose, his
ears, man, and so he's just by himself. And then what's crazy about it, the seagull's just waiting for that ass to just die, and he ended up dying, right? In the end, or they find him.
You don't know because all you see is like the last thing is because the whole time he's trying to protect his hands because he's got to protect the hands. He keeps saying that. At the very end, he ends up being so hungry that he eats his fingers, and it just ends there.
And it ends there. I thought he had
fucking gnarly, bro.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy, man. That was crazy. But yeah, that's I would say survivor type. What about you, Cram Marquise?
Mine was the other one, Twittering from the Circus of the Dead.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
The art was pretty cool. I like it because it was heavy on the social commentary. You get it. So basically, the main character is Blake. And, she's with her family. I mean, she fucking hates her mom. So in order for her to pass the time and get over her teen angst, she starts twittering, my life sucks, blah, blah, blah. And her dad's, they're like in a station wagon. They're just driving from Colorado to somewhere, Arizona or some bullshit. They end up somewhere in the desert. And the dad sees like the sign say Circus of the Dead. So the whole time she's just like, whatever. This is fucking weird, but fuck it, whatever. The best whole thing about this is that it's zombies. It's all zombie related type stuff. For instance, the ringmaster is a chick on stilts.
Did I mention there are zombies in clown outfits chasing her around?
And at one point when they first get there, she goes, this is real. These zombies are real. My name is this. I was here with my boyfriend. My boyfriend's missing. And everyone was like, oh, this is cool. It's part of the show. Right? Even one point where they put a fucking zombie in a cannon, they shoot him, body parts flying out.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I like that part, man. They stuffed that motherfucker in the
and a flying foot fucking smashes in the face of one of the other
that's when
audience.
shit starts getting fucking gruesome after that.
Yeah, then she goes, oh my God, this real, that real? And then the dad keeps going, no, he's a plant. It's fake. And then she goes, yeah, it's a plant.
Yeah.
Like pro wrestling type bullshit. So then shit hits the fan. Then the zombies kill everybody. For a long time, they kept thinking it was part of the show. It was pretty cool how the whole thing went down. And again, it's the point of that social commentary is that you're so busy wanting realism that when it is real, you don't recognize it. Or you're too busy tweeting about something instead of actually communicating with the people around you to see what the fuck's going on, what's going down.
Wow. Not surprised, but that kind of shit happens because you always have followers.
Yep. But Tales of Halloween, man. What was your favorite?
Tales of Halloween, I would say the night that Billy raised hell. I like that one because I just like the whole way how it starts. It's a little kid who's trying to go trick or treat. He's dressed as the devil, and of course, like in every story that has to do with a little kid going trick or treat. It's the older sibling that's going to take the child. So the sister's going to take him to go trick or treating. Of course, her boyfriend shows up. Her boyfriend is an asshole to
Fucking
the little
prick.
kid. Yeah, he's a prick. He's just a straight up prick. So he's telling the kid, "Hey, you have to go and
Egg a house.
egg a house because there's this particular house that never gives out candy. It always has lights off, and it makes it known. So because of the tradition of this individual doing this on Halloween, the kids end up egging his house. So the boyfriend convinces the little boy, "You have to go do it if you want to go trick or treating." All right. So the sister's also encouraging this. So the little boy goes up there and he rings the doorbell. And he's ready. No, he's ready to chuck the egg. He doesn't ring the doorbell. He's ready to check it. And as soon as he tries to chuck that, the dude, some dude comes out, and some big lurch looking dude, like
Just like Phantom of the Opera type of suit with
and
a
he just
top
like
hat.
snatches the egg from him. And he tells us, what are you trying to do? You trying to, egg my house? And he's like, no, it's a little boy at that point. He's all scared. And he looks over to his sister. They booked, man. These motherfuckers took off. They're like, you're on your own, man. And so the boyfriend is running, right? And the dude from the house fucking chucks that egg. It hits him right behind the head. The dude falls straight up face first. And he snatches. So the dude, what was he like?
I don't know what his name was. Like the
but the
dude
owner
that
of the
lived there.
house snatches up the kid, puts him inside, and he's like, "Oh, you like to play tricks?" And the boy's
But you know
like,
what's
"No."
fucked up though is the fucking sister just left him there. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
She
They
left him to
bugged.
get
They took
kidnapped.
off.
They're like,
Yeah, you didn't give a fuck. It's like, damn, I was like, is that your sister or is that your stepsister? So so yeah, so the little boy gets left there, and the sister left. She didn't come back. She didn't nothing.
bitch.
So he's in the house, and now, this guy, he takes his hat off. He has his top hat. He takes it off. And he ends up having horns.
Like little tiny horns.
So he's something that's
Horny ass motherfucker.
Either he's a demon or the devil or whatnot. He's not a good person. So he tells the boy, "Well, tonight we're going to go and do some real prankings." And the boy, just kind of looks at him. And so then the next scene was, the dude, the devil, and the little boy, they go out, and he's dressed as the devil. They're going and they're doing a hellish shit. They're just getting
Straight
into some
grimy,
shit.
man.
They go up to this one dentist's house. They go, the little boy knocks on there, trick or treat, and the dentist goes, "Well, here you go," and he gave him a fucking toothbrush with toothpaste.
Yeah.
Right, so they come back and he shows the devil, look what he gave me. He said, "Oh, hell no, man, you're gonna go back over there and trick or treat again." All right, so the little kid goes
But
back.
before he does that though, the dude with the devil, he fucking like he carves up the toothbrush. So he's got a little shank.
A little shank, that's right, yeah.
They go straight prison terms on this motherfucker.
Yeah,
This
man.
like go
And that's
prison.
what he did. He fucking knocked that door, and that fucking, the dentist opens the door, and he kind of looks at him like, "What are you doing again?" And fucking
Shakes that
shake that motherfucker with that steel.
Prison style.
No, that plastic, I should say. So anyhow, that was pretty funny. But there was like other scenes where they fucking hijack a car
Fucking
for that one chick.
rob a liquor store.
Rob a liquor store, and then they're shooting at little kids with fucking guns.
and
It's
listening
just
to
off the
like
hook.
this gangster shit in the car. He's like, doom, doom, doom.
They're all smoking weed too, right? They were
Smoking
smoking
weed,
weed and
it's straight
drinking. So
grimy.
it was pretty funny. So anyhow, they do their fucking shenanigans, and they head back to the house. So once they get in the house, no, in fact, it was funny because on one of those scenes when they were out there doing their shit, they went to the
sister's house.
sister's house, and she's just chilling like nothing, like, where's your brother?
Not even worried about
You
it.
ain't tripping, right? But it was funny. She got but no, she gets her nose knocked up, huh?
Oh yeah,
You remember he threw something at her? He threw
fucking rock.
a rock.
Throws a rock right at her fucking grill. Just pop, right, breaks her fucking nose.
Damn, that shit was funny. So, but they head back to the pad, and so they're just, they did everything, and the scene goes to the little boy sitting on a seat, and he was tied up. So the whole time, it wasn't the little kid. It was like a little
imp.
demon,
a little demon imp. A little
yeah,
devil
the
imp.
nymph. And so they pretty much put all the blame on the little boy. So when he walks out, the devil goes, okay, it's time for you to go home. He puts his mask on. It's in the same mask that the little imp had. And when he goes out, cops straight up fucking pointing the gun at him. And he's like, get down. And the little boy's all like confused and shit, right? And he just gets murked after that. He gets smoked. Because I guess they didn't, we ain't taking no chances with this little motherfucker.
But what's fucking kind of creepy is the old dude, right? When he actually released the little kid, he goes, oh yeah, and tell your mom.
Oh yeah.
That, tell your mom, be looking for, actually, you won't have time to say anything, but I'm going to get, close to your mom. And he flicks his tongue like real creeper shit. I was like, dude, that's his mom, bruh.
Yeah.
And the whole time, too, you see the little imp. At first, you're like, oh, dude, they fucked up, dude. Like, you can tell.
Oh,
like,
yeah. He's all swole.
Yeah, he's all a little swole, dude. And you're thinking, like, oh, man, they messed up. It had, like, the stunt double and it looks hella fake. And then we're all talking shit. Until you see that the kid was all tied up. And you're like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, man.
There's a reason it was a buff little person.
They threw shit on him.
Oh, it was pretty good.
That was a good one, man. I like that one. So, what about you?
Ransom of Rusty Rex. That's the kidnapping one with the Latino and Landis.
Yeah.
So I love this one. So the two guys, they go, they just go steal a kid and then they just go do a ransom. So they're hanging out in the rich part of town. So they see one little kid come out, fucking sweater and his, this little mask.
A little white picket fence.
Yeah, white picket fence. But it's like a big mansion, right?
Yeah.
So like something in Oakland Hills type of thing.
Yeah.
They take him, and even the Latino at that point, he was just like, man, I don't know, man. This is some bullshit. He's like, nah, man,
dumb shit,
it'll be fine. So they steal the kid, right? And then they have him in some warehouse, some safe house that they got set up. And they call the father, and they're like, hey, man, we got your kid. We're going to want blah, blah, blah if you want him back. And then the guy just hangs up on him.
Yeah.
And
he goes like, you what? It's like, you don't know what you just did. And they're like, what?
And he
just hung up the phone. Because they're like, well, what I want is this at this time, this time. That motherfucker hung up in the middle of that request.
He's like, hello?
Nope, rejected.
It was hella funny because you see the look on the dude's face and he was just like,
it's like, what? And the dude's like, call him back again. And he called him back.
Yeah, he kept trying to call, and finally he goes, yeah, you have no idea what you just did. Don't call me here. That's your problem now. We dealt with him. We were stuck with him for 5 years. Now he's your problem. And he's like, what the fuck? When they look back, because the whole time they're talking on this phone on the speaker, and the kid's tied up, so they turn around, and the kid's gone. They're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then the kid shows up, and he kicks one of them in the balls, and he starts fucking with them. And it's a little demon kid. And then they go, oh, fuck. And then one of the bad guys starts shooting at him with his gun, and he shoots him. They're like, holy shit.
Yeah, he don't die, yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're like, fuck. And then they find out he's alive still. He's alive again. And then now they're trying to survive from this guy and then trying to get rid of him. And then so they devise a plan and they knock him out. They put him in the bag and then they take him to the house, and then they light him on fire in front of the house. And then woof, and they doorbell ditch, and they go, fuck this guy. And next thing you know, they go back to the warehouse and they go, fuck, this is some bullshit. Shit went bad. And boom, he's inside there. He's all eating his candy. And they're like, what the fuck? But this time, they end up capturing him again and then they drown him. They throw him in the river or whatever it is.
Right, yeah.
Or in the swamp.
Yeah.
Fast forward, they go, fuck this. We're leaving. We're not going to come back. Let's just go to the next town. We're done. So they stop at a gas station. Now the scene follows the white guy. He's inside getting himself a fucking sandwich, a burrito. He goes back to the van. He turns around and the little fucker's in there. he has the head of the Latino and he's just chomping on it like it's fucking corn on the cob and shit. And the dude's like, fuck. And then that's when it ends. But that was my favorite one just because my favorite scene is just the part where he gets hung up on. He's like, pfft.
So you tripping. So you just did me a favor. And you don't even know it.
That was some good shit.
Yeah, that was pretty good. All right, so that was that. The next one on the list is the Mortuary Collection. What is your favorite one out of that one?
It's the one I call it Till Death Do Us Part. I like the style. The actors are great in it. The couple, they marry, and apparently right after they get married, something happens to her, and she becomes catatonic, doesn't talk, she's stuck on stupid forever, and he takes care of her. And it's kind of sad because you feel for him. He goes through all this trouble. He cooks these nice dinners, but they say he just blends it down in like a milkshake and in like soup style, and he feeds it to her.
Yeah, here's your fucking soup.
So, and you see all this going down. At one point, doctor does his usual visit, and he's like, "So how's she doing?" Shit, she's still fucked up. So doctor starts feeling bad, and he goes, "Hey man, I got these pills, bro.
What's up? I got that fizz.
Undetectable,
that
man."
fizz.
And so he gets it, and so fast forward, he prepares a meal, and then he breaks up the pills, and he puts it in there. They're at a dinner table, and what he does when he sits there, he has to lock her up, with the safety belt. Otherwise, she'll fall over or fall to the side, whatever. So he feeds her the stuff, and then he's just kind of waiting. She's going to die. Because supposedly she's just supposed to pass out, and then that's it. Her functions stop. But then she grabs his arm, and she starts freaking out and starts coughing. First, he thinks, oh my God, she's awake. But no, it's just a reaction, apparently. He forces her out of it. She throws up. And then he's like, oh, fuck. He's relieved. And he doesn't lock her back up in the chair. So her head just flies forward. And they've got these little rabbit statues all over the fucking place. I don't know why. But one of the statues got the little rabbit ears. And booyah! Right through her fucking dome. And so he goes, holy fuck. He picks her up. And then he lets her go. And then bow! Fucking
again.
Her head slams the fucking table. And that thing's way in deep. They're like, you ain't get that shit out. And he freaks out. He calls his doc. He's like, yo, man. I gave it to her. Something went wrong. And now she's dead. And he's like,
lose my number. But not before him. He tells her, go fucking dump her in the river. Oh, yeah.
And lose my fucking number.
Lose my number.
Shit.
Damn.
So, this is where he goes mafia, right? He puts her in a fucking trunk. He can't close it because her legs are too long. So then he goes and grabs the fucking
turkey
Thanksgiving turkey carving,
yeah.
The electrical knife or whatever the hell. As soon as he starts cutting her leg, she goes, ah! She starts screaming. He goes, oh, fuck. And then he grabs a statue that was in her fucking dome.
Her dome, yeah.
Yeah, and he just rips it out.
Yanks it out.
Giant fucking hole right in her head. And you're
that was gnarly, man.
Hole in the head. And then she just and then just flops, and then he's like, oh, fuck. And then he cuts her up, or he cuts her legs off to fit her in there. And then he starts dragging the trunk out. So a couple little things happen while they're in the elevator. One of the neighbors called the cops, and so he's now pressed for time. Now he's really trying to get out of there. This is where it gets really cool. He has the elevator. He's trying to go down, and he's like rushing it. It's an old ass elevator in an old ass apartment building. And so he's slamming the button. So you see the light slowly flash as it goes down the floors. When it gets to the bottom one, it starts freaking out. Like multiple lights, all the floors start lighting up. The elevator just starts flying down. And there's got little windows on the elevators, and he looks in there. And this is where you see like the up montage. Like he sees him and his wife meeting when they're young, all happy, they get married, and then all the other stuff that happens where he's taking care of her. And then the lights start flashing, and then the trunk, blood starts spreading out from the bottom of it. And he goes, oh, fuck. And then like the trunk, it snaps open, and it kind of lifts open. He's like, oh, fuck. He starts freaking out. All of a sudden, it's like they're in free fall. Like it's like the elevators are going straight to hell or some shit. And like they're almost underwater, and he starts floating up. The wife is just a corpse now, and she starts floating up, and she looks mangy as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
Like her skin's like all like it's rotted like a zombie, like, and her mouth is super wide open. She's got these huge black eyes, and her teeth are all jagged and sticking out. And she's got that hole in her head. She's got no feet. They're all cut out. He's floating in the air, and he's freaking out. He's screaming, and she grabs him. They kiss. And then all of a sudden you hear, and the music crescendos. It's really cool. And then I hear, ping, kind of like an elevator, and it opens up, and it's the cops. And all you see is the trunk, clothes, no blood. Dude, he's like sitting on his ass against the elevator holding like the wedding album. And he goes, till death to his part, till death to his part.
Fucking
You know,
weirdo.
He fucking just
fucking wacko.
And then, he goes PTSD on that shit. And for me, I like that. I just like him snapping and kill the wifey. That shit didn't go right.
Well, it just shows you that sometimes people say shit but don't follow through. Fucking rankers.
Yeah, man. Each anthology has a story that frames them all. What was your favorite one out of those three? Which you think seemed more cool or appealed more to you?
Oh, the Creepshow. How they narrated and how of course, he was drawing, so that was pretty cool to see how, because that's kind of how in the beginning or in the original Creepshow had that same feel.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't so much him drawing, but he was collecting the comics and something like that. So that was pretty cool. I really like how that stood out, and then they played it very well. It wasn't cheesy, and sometimes it's kind of hard to mix those type of mediums, I should say, together. Where. It's hard to pull off what I'm trying to say. So I really like whoever was behind that, how they made it, and they pulled it off. And again, it's a old school EC comic type of stories that they kind of just fit in the overall what we grew up with and what we like to watch. So yep. What about you?
I like the Mortuary Collection because they use the serial killer from the Babysitter Murders.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how they chose her. Like she shows up at the mortuary. Mr. Crab says, "All right, you got the job."
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really cool because then all of a sudden she's stuck there, and now she's the mortician. She's gonna suffer the same fate. And it was kind of cool how well like those little stories were.
Well, that was good. Yeah, that one. I don't think I've seen it in any other plot in that way. How they did it, it actually did get. In the end, I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
I didn't expect for her to be the killer.
Yeah, me neither. At first, I didn't.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Which one do you think was the worst? Like, which story you thought was fucking whack?
Man, it was the one with the one chick that she was at her mom's house and they were having like a party or Halloween party.
Yeah.
And they were telling stories and it was a corny ass fucking story about a fucking cheap knockoff of La Llorona. And so pretty much the mom tells a story and her friends scare her
it's a
while
ghost
the
story.
mom is telling the story. She gets all spooked out and it's time to go home, and so the mom is all worried about her. Are you okay? You're gonna be fine. And then she makes a stupid comment like, I can't believe you're still driving that piece of that piece of junk.
Fucking Challenger.
It is a Challenger, and it was like now old. It's one of the newer models. So anyhow, so she's driving down the street, and basically this is how the story goes. She gets in the fucking car, drives. Car has some issues, some problems. She gets stranded. She fucks up her phone. She tries to call. And somehow she drops it or she smashes it.
She smashes it.
So she's, oh, great, now I gotta walk. So she starts to walk, and it's like, you don't know how to fucking walk right? There's a sidewalk. Why are you walking in the middle of the street? I guess she's all scared, someone's gonna jump out. Basically, it's like 5 minutes, right, of her just walking through the street.
Fucking creeped out.
She gets to her house.
It's funny because you'd get the same scene if it was a white girl walking down the Tenderloin.
Yeah, pretty much. So she gets there, right, and there's like this white picket fence home with the fucking apple tree on the side, yada, yada, yada. Goes into her house. So she's trying to get in her house, and she's fumbling through her pocket, her purse, and then she finds her keys. And she hears like these noises behind her, and she's tripping at this point, like, oh shit, I better get in. You know that feeling that you get when you're like, fucking, it don't matter how late it is, or, you get home after partying and shit or something. And, you always have that worry feeling. But this was overly done to the point where once she opens her door, she looks back, no one's there, and she's like, oh, I'm fine, I'm okay. And she walks inside, and then there's a ghost waiting for her. There's some old, like
just smiles at her.
Yeah, it's like this old lady with fucked up skin and fucked up hair, all toe up and shit, and then that's it. And I was like, what was the fucking point of that? I mean, it was so. I just think that there was no thought put into it.
Yeah, there's no substance.
Yeah,
and the name of that story was the Grim Greening Ghost, and that was on Tales of Halloween.
Tales of Halloween.
Yeah, that's one of the weak ones. The story that I fucking hated is actually on Tales of Halloween. Like that's the problem if you do an anthology with so many stories, you don't have enough time to develop them. And you end up with a lot of little garbage ones with maybe a couple that have some, or like, for instance, the one I don't like is the one that had the potential to be something pretty good if it had more time. So it's the one's called Trick. So basically it opens with two couples just hanging out on Halloween night, watching scary movies and getting high. And all of a sudden, ding dong, he goes, "Oh, aren't you going to say trick or treat?" She don't say shit. She just pulls out a butcher knife and just shanks him.
Right.
And then she walks away and he's like, "What the fuck?" And they all, "Oh my God," they freak out.
Oh my God, she made it personal.
Yeah, and then they start freaking out. So the girlfriend runs outside trying to get into her fucking van. And then she gets tripped up and like 6 kids just start chopping her up. It was like The Purge, you know, like Children of the Corn type shit where they all of a sudden they start killing the adults. But this has a twist ending. So the survivor, she runs through the backyard and they have like a garage, like a storage space. So she runs in there and all of a sudden you see like little flashback scenes of the couple like eating eyeballs and working on a kid, and doing surgeries. And then one kid is missing the eye. She's already sitting there, laying there. And the kids gang up on her and then they stab and kill her. And that was the twist. And you're like, oh, really? Okay, so they're getting revenge. One of the things that at least made it better is at least go, if these kids are getting revenge because these guys are killing kids and taking their eyes, they should be pissed. And instead they all look like they're possessed. You don't really care that there was a twist.
Yeah.
You don't feel sorry for him.
Again, another one.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
We're getting those placazos. So it's time to get inventive. We like to do this at the end of every show. Pose a question that's based on what we're talking about. And, you guys can shoot us your ideas and your responses on hellohorrorpodcast@gmail.com. Or send us drawings, fan art. I don't give a shit. What we got. Or give us feedback. That's always fun.
Yeah, man.
All right. So if you had the opportunity to frame an anthology, a set of stories, what would be the theme that leads to why these stories are being said or repeated?
Because it's the tattoo shop, we're gonna we have a little theme here. My story would be about a tattoo artist, and basically this guy, he's like a fucking one of those heavy or hard hitters. He does it all, man. He likes to sacrifice people. He likes to torture people. He's a bad individual. But this individual likes tattoos. He's all tatted down. Fucking head is all tatted. Face, whatever, man. Nutsack. Fucking probably pito and shit, man. But this motherfucker likes tattoos. He had killed this one individual in one of his dealings that he was doing. And this one guy, he really, he like fucking tortured him to the point where he was purposely keeping him alive. And this is the gangster. He was purposely keeping this one dude alive because he thought that he did him wrong. And the dude's like, nah, man. The other dude's like, nah, he's trying to plead for his life. He's like, dude, you got it wrong. That's not me. I'm solid, bro. And he's like, nah. So these motherfuckers just at this point, high ego on his shit. Nah, I'm God, pretty much. So he does this shit, right? He ends up fucking just mutilating this guy. Well, it turns out that this guy had a brother who's a tattoo artist too, right? And when the dude went missing, his brother, he starts, the tattoo artist, he starts to look for his brother. What's going on? So he starts asking, they're from the hood, so they know how to fucking peep out and shit. So they make some calls, some connections, and the brother finds out that, nah, man, the last time we saw him was with this dude, fucking the gangster and shit, man. And, we haven't seen him since then, but we heard, man, he might have fucking taken him out. And the way how he did it was not good. So to make it short, that the tattoo artist finds out that it's the gangster but never tells him because the gangster doesn't know that that's his brother. So this dude goes to him to get a tattoo because the tattoo artist, he's well known. He's really good at what he does. So the gangster goes to him. He gets recommended by another friend that this tattoo artist knew. So they're in cahoots. He tells him, "Oh, come by, man. This one dude, the dude, yada yada. He does good tat work, and blah blah. He'll give you a plug." The gangster goes over and he gets his tattoo. He's getting his chest filled in and shit. It's near the neck area. So then tables turn. The tattoo artist actually like he ends up fucking as he's tattooing him, he dips the needle into some nerve paralyzing type of shit. Some type of mixture that he made up. So he's tattooing the dude, he's like, whatever, nothing's happening. And after, like, when he's close to getting done, boy, the motherfucker, that shit had enough time to seep in and he's numb. This motherfucker can't, like, move and shit. The gangster ends up being tortured by the tattoo artist. And how he does it is that every day he just tattoos him with, instead of being a needle, it's a blade. He goes back and retraces all his tattoos with this blade.
Shit.
The tattoo blade.
It's tight.
And so of course there's all these little stories that it's not just one thing, one big story, but little small stories that kind of play into the whole of how the gangster got to that tattoo shop. I would call it horror tattoo shop stories or something like that. Yeah.
That sounds cool. You could almost have it so that the dude that's getting tattooed, if he's numb, he doesn't realize, he's losing all that blood. But I think, like you said, like he the whole time he's just bragging.
Yeah.
And those are the little stories.
Yeah. And then he tells that story.
And all the little stories he's telling is what the movie's showing us. These little stories of his robberies and stuff like that.
That's good. Don't.
Would that'd be cool?
No, man.
I like your idea.
This is called our creations. Nah, man. But yeah. So cool. I don't know, man. Maybe we should put that one on the back burner and come to it later on and maybe do something with it.
Hey, you never. Oh, all these, man. You make them all. All these little stories that we got. All right. I would do is so the setting would be Dia de los Muertos and two cousins, right? They're real tight. And, they're always fucking correteando all over the place, fucking starting shit and being dicks. A lot of B&E, breaking and entering, graffiti, that type of shit. So it happens on Dia de los Muertos one year, they fucked up and ended up shooting somebody. They didn't kill him. Well, they don't know if he's dead. We don't know if he's dead, right? It's an old man. They broke into his house because they heard he had some cool shit in there, something of worth, of value. They shot him by accident, right? So they're escaping. And it happens to be a neighborhood where Dia de los Muertos is a big deal. And there's a small cemetery nearby that they run through. And so other families are there telling their stories. And cops are showing up. And then they run into another house. It's a little old lady's house. They hide out in there. She goes, hey, what's wrong? They're like, oh, we're in troubles. Some people are after us. They lie. They're like, there's a rival gang is chasing them. They're after us because they're always trying to take our money, blah, blah, blah. So the old lady goes, oh, okay, well, why don't you stay here? I'll feed you guys. Just chill out. Dia de Muertos, she had her own shrine and everything set up and everything with her pictures of different people and stuff like that. And so the kids are sitting there, eating some bucket, pozole, I don't know what it is. Right. And they're looking at the pictures and then so they go, oh, what's up with this picture? The ladies just starts telling them stories about each picture. But the stories in the picture just like are kind of like dark. Like on how they die. So next thing you know, they start getting chills on the neck. And they're like, it's already really late. You don't hear the sirens anymore. Things have died down. They're like, oh, okay, where we're going to go? Oh, you can't go yet. There's one more story. They're kind of creeped out. So they're telling the story. And the whole time, she's just behind them, with the hands on their back. And, and each time she tells the story, she grips on their shoulders. Like what they don't realize is the pozole fuck with them. And they can't move now. And then next thing you know, they're just in a dreamy state. Next morning, they can't move. They're just laying in bed. What they don't realize is that their body parts are removed. There's a big mirror in front of them, and they look, and they're like, what the fuck? And then they see their own pictures on a shrine in front of them. And then you hear the lady, like, laugh. And then the door closes and the lights turn off.
A good one.
Yeah.
I like that one. So I don't know, man. They might steal our fucking stories.
This is trademark copyright, bitches. Fuck you. It's Hello Horror Podcast Originals. Right? Be fucking around. Oh, man. Last words, bro.
Raza, of course, we always got last words in this motherfucker. Feel me? You feel me? So, people, find us on IG, TikTok, and our Facebook group page at Hello Horror Podcast. We're also on Twitter. Our handle is at Hello Horror Pod.
Yup. Obviously, you can get us wherever you're getting your podcast from. Make sure you comment and like it. Rate, give us a star, 5 stars, 5 stars. Give us all that. Review it if you can. We love feedback. Make sure you follow us, subscribe to us, and keep downloading our show. You can email us at hellohorrorpodcast@gmail.com. We love it all. Fan art, hate mail, suggestions. You got it, man.
Mas ponle, just send it over here. We got it.
And that's the end of tonight's Hello Horror Variety Hour. Tune in next time for more chills and kills and the coming of the cucuy.
Hijo de tu chingada madre, otra vez con estas game show chingaderas, ufa.